display, number 402 Squadron symbolises our shared air power heritage between Britain and Canada. This Spitfire LF-5B has 7 confirmed aerial victories to its name. It served with number 402 Squadron during 1944. 402 Squadron is still active in today's Royal Canadian Air Force, flying the CT-142-8 trainer, generating new combat air systems officers and airborne electronic sensor operators for the modern-day RCAF. Breaking away in the CF-18 from 45 Tactical Fighter Squadron at Canadian Forces Base, Baggetville. One of a number of modern RCAF aircraft here. Quite a lot more of them can be found in the static display at the far right-hand end of the airfield, along with representatives of the RCAF's history, the de Havilland Canada Chipmunk of the Shuttleworth Collection, and the de Havilland Vampire of the Norwegian Air Force Historical Squadron, both of them in Canadian colours. As for the Spitfire we've just seen, it forms part of the fighter collection at Duxford, one of the preeminent collections of airworthy Second World War and pre-World War II aircraft indeed in Europe. Founded in the 1980s by Stephen Gray. And it was in the hands here of the great Norwegian warbird pilot Rolf Meon, former Royal Norwegian Air Force fighter pilot, and for many, many years one of the leading lights on the warbird scene in both piston and jet-engined aircraft. Traditional, very attractive, but also very practical curved approach being flown by the Spitfire. Forward visibility in such aeroplanes, not the best, with a very poor view over the nose, so curving into land, keeping the runway in sight for as long as possible before rolling out.
And also with a crosswind now from his left and onto the tarmac runway. A relatively tricky landing. Well inside of the crosswind limitations, but tailwheel aircraft, the centre of gravity is behind the main wheels, which means the aircraft always wants to rotate and go tail first.
Beautifully done there by
very nice
Rolf Meon, who last displayed at the Air Tattoo in a MiG-15 back in 1997. He's going to swiftly backtrack because we're now going to bring our next display aircraft in. It's operating from its home base at RAF Marham. And I'm sure many of you, therefore, will know full well what this is. The very cutting edge of UK combat air power, both for the RAF and the Fleet Air Arm of the Royal Navy. And this is the first season in which a more complete role demonstration, as opposed to just a series of flypasts by this